Hello, Ashley here. Thank you very much for joining me on what is day 3 of the British lockdown due to the coronavirus. I wasn't on yesterday. I'm sorry, I wasn't very well, so I wasn't able to actually make a video. And today I really want to concentrate on one certain aspect of this whole scenario. There are many things that I could be talking about, but I really want to start off with Disease X, the dummy run of Disease X. What's that? Well, as reported in the Telegraph of October of last year, I will actually link the actual article down below in the comments section so that you can see it for yourself. The World Health Organization with John Hopkins, the World Economic Forum, and Bill Gates Foundation all held a dummy run along with 15, there were actually 15 participants, all playing themselves in a dummy run about what would happen with the pandemic of virus X. And during this scenario, everybody actually, as I just mentioned, everybody played themselves, and their aides would give them certain updates, and then the panel would be discussing how they would react in their normal everyday roles, and discuss what they would all do, and what the outcomes what they believe the outcomes to be. Now, the people that are involved in this are people such as ex-CIA members. Somebody from Johnson and Johnson was there, as I've already mentioned. The Bill Gates Foundation is involved in all this, which always rings alarm bells to me. Anyway, partway through this scenario, they started actually calling it the coronavirus. They didn't start off calling it the coronavirus. They started off calling it virus X. But this coronavirus apparently came from pigs originally, and in their scenario starts off, I think it's in South America. I'm not sure. Can't remember quite properly. Anyway, during this scenario, while they're discussing, how many deaths there are, what to do about it, within the scenario, they actually, all the steps that are taken in the scenario are exactly the same steps that they're taking now. The fact that they, any decision they make, they reevaluate it in 3 weeks. At the moment, Britain is in lockdown for the next 3 weeks, and it's being reevaluated again in 3 weeks' time, so we see that. And all of the steps that we've gone through thus far are actually mentioned and agreed upon within this, within last year's dummy run. So it, and so much so, this scenario actually ended up with the collapse of governments. The collapse of governments is what actually these, the discussions about what was happening, how many people were dying, how many people got it, what had occurred. It was the end. It was the collapse of governments. That's how it ended. Also within it, somebody who was an ex-CIA, member of the CIA, she was saying that she was concerned about a number of things: riots, terrorism, and the fact, I'm sorry, I've got a cat scratching the carpet, terrorism, and the fact that they don't want to bring third world countries, or lesser countries than us, their economics down. I'm sorry, that's just distracted me a bit. So the sort of things that they're concerned about are the sort of things that we're concerned about, but also the fact that this happened in October, and then in December, the coronavirus hit. It might not have been in exactly the same way. Sorry, kitten. In exactly the same way, it hasn't come from China, but every single thing that they're doing at the moment seems to be following what they suggested within this dummy run. And it does seem a little bit close, doesn't it, that this dummy run happened literally 2 months before the virus actually hit in China. So much so that, like, John Hopkins have actually had to come out and say that, no, they didn't predict the virus. They were just doing a dummy run, and it's just kind of a coincidence. Bit of a strange coincidence, isn't it? Because they were talking about locking down everybody. Everything that they discussed is pretty much what's going on now. Even as much as calling it the coronavirus. when originally it was just supposed to be, you know, disease X, and they presumed it would be one about the lungs. And then now, partway through, they called it the coronavirus. So these sort of things really do make you question. And also, like I said, it's things like they were talking about rioting and how it would affect people. And eventually, like I said, their own scenario that they discussed between themselves ended up with the collapse of governments. So while we're thinking about this dummy run going on and the sort of the fact that we're going through exactly what they suggested, and then you've got things like Donald Trump, who is now saying that he wants to get the country back up and running again by Easter, and saying this because obviously they're putting the economics of the world. We all live by the economics of the world, all of us. There isn't a single one of us that does not live by the economics of this world. We all do. And so, although I'm no big fan of Trump, and I'm sure anybody that knows me will be able to swear by that, the man is saying that he doesn't want the country to collapse. And I can kind of get where he's coming from, especially as this scenario, dummy run, has actually predicted the end and the collapse of governments. So this must surely be in the back of their minds. So it makes you question all kinds of things. I mean, all kinds of things. I've stopped. I used to think I kind of knew where things were going. Now I haven't got a clue. I think that they could very well, I thought at one point this could be a dummy run, whereas now I actually think that they might actually just run with this one, because we are waking up quite well. But the thing that gets to me about what Trump's been saying, getting the economy back up and running, the country back up and running by Easter, is how people are responding to that. I've seen an awful lot of Americans be horrified by that, because he's putting money before lives. But it does make you think, does he know something that we don't know? It does make you think, why are these people, why aren't they happy? I do not want to be stuck. You see, I'm on my own. I'm not with family members. I couldn't get back to my family. I don't live with them. I couldn't get back to my family. So for the next 3 weeks at least, I'm here alone. I'm not with family members. And, you know, you cannot have the world shut down. We all need the world to be working as we know. Even though it's shit, we all know the system's shit. But it does make me think that this is why they're actually maybe pushing to just get on with it and do it all now and put us under the New World Order system. I mean, as it is, I could discuss so many things. Unfortunately, I can't go live to discuss them all. But there are things like what the British government are doing. They're giving mixed messages, and they aren't helping the situation. People are making out like Boris is some kind of god, when in fact the week before he put everybody in lockdown, he was telling us there was absolutely fuck all to be worried about. And he went from that to screaming from the rooftops, we're all going to die! Save the NHS! You know, and what you've got to remember is, first of all, don't trust the government. You've got to be a bloody idiot if you trust the government. They're the elite. The government are the elite, and they don't care about us. So much so that I've even seen, you know, companies. Gordon Ramsay, for instance. Gordon Ramsay just recently, over the last couple of days, sacked 500 of his staff. Sacked them. Not held the jobs open for them. Sacked them. He said he's going to pay them till April the 19th or something. Put out this big thing about how he cares about everybody, and he's fucked off. The millionaire that is. He's just proven himself like all the other bloody millionaires. Branson with his Virgin, weeks ago, he laid off 80% of his staff. Sorry, 75% of his staff, telling them that he wasn't paying them and he wanted them to have an 8-week unpaid holiday. The billionaire that is. Weatherspoons, the man who owns Weatherspoons, he got rid of all his staff and told them to go and work for Tesco. It's showing the world to be what it is. It's showing the elite and the rich to be selfish arseholes that they are. And it's showing the population of the world who, instead of should be grateful that hopefully we can all get back to normal by Easter, all seem to want to be locked up. They've been that taken in by the scaremongering bollocks of the media and our governments that they are actually vilifying the thought of it might all be all right to go back to work and back to normal by Easter. Well, I, for one, want it to get back to normal by Easter because I don't want to be stuck in my home living this shit life on my own. So if you are out there thinking, oh, it's all right, there's nothing really going on, I'm still going to live my life, fucking don't. Not because of anything other than the fact that while you're doing that, we stay indoors longer. I don't fucking want to stay indoors on my own for any longer than 3 weeks. I'm already poorly as it is. I have nobody come to help me. I'm not seeing anybody. And I don't want the likes of complete dickheads that think that it's all right to do what they want. It isn't, because it affects the rest of us. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen next. And we certainly don't need to be giving the authorities any fucking excuse to keep us inside our houses any longer. Put it this way, people that are self-employed in Britain, they've just been given help today. Help that doesn't come through till June. So in the meantime, they're all going to try and get onto the benefits system. The benefits system that's had nearly 500,000 people trying to get onto it. Why do they want everybody on benefits? Why do they want us all at the same level? And we all know that when they change the law, they're not that quick on changing it back again. So what started off with a dummy run in October has ended up in, like, by March, the end of March, I'm on day 3 of a lockdown in Britain because of coronavirus pandemic. And everything that they're talking about, that they talked about and suggested in that dummy run is being implemented today and now. So let's hope, for the sake of all of us, that by Easter we can all go back to work and we are all safe and people aren't happy to be staying in their frigging homes. Thanks for listening, and just remember that you're an individual with your own thoughts, feelings, and you're entitled to that. So keep speaking out, keep questioning, and never ever fucking give in to them.